everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all having an amazing day or night whenever you're watching this. Before we get into this video, I wanted to remind you to check out my website where you can book coaching calls and tarot readings with me. Alright, now let's head into the video. Recently, this topic of commitment has been coming up really heavily in my life. I see it also in the collective, and I feel like this time right now that we're going through with this new beginning and things ending is really calling on us to explore commitment, our commitments, the commitments we have made. And if you want to know more about this time, I made a whole video, the last video I made on this season in Aries, so be sure to check that out. But for this video, I really want us to explore commitment and what we're committed to. I feel like the question that keeps coming up is, what are we committed to? What commitments are we making and upholding on a daily basis? And how these commitments are impacting us. Are the commitments that we've made in our life good commitments in the sense that they're uplifting us or allowing us to thrive and moving us in the direction that we want to go in? Or are they bad commitments in the sense that they're holding us back and keeping us stuck in cycles? Which is really why I feel this question about commitment, or this topic around commitment, is coming up, because of the ending of cycles that is happening right now. It's like the perfect time to ask yourself what you have been committed to, what you continue to commit yourself to, and what you want to commit yourself to. Every choice we make is a commitment to a certain habit, a certain value, a certain lifestyle, whatever that situation is. Like right now is the time to ask ourselves whether those values, those beliefs, those habits and routines are serving us. And if they are not serving us, then how can we make choices that commit us to habits, routines, values and beliefs that are going to serve us. This perspective shift on seeing the choices that I make or that people make as a commitment to a certain value, belief, lifestyle, or habit helped me to be more aware of what choices I'm making. It helped me make better choices, but also it helped me bring awareness to the choices I was making and the true impact that it was having on my life. And it gave me this way of seeing it as like, okay, I'm making this choice and it's committing me further to this, whatever it is that it's committing me to. For example, let's say the choice is to drink alcohol. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not judging anybody who does. But for me personally, it doesn't work anymore, right? So let's just say, like, for example, every time I made the choice to drink alcohol, I was making a commitment to, one, the older version of myself who didn't take care of or value her life, but also it was committing me to a lifestyle and friendships and relationships that were not actually uplifting me and that were kind of keeping me stuck in that old version of me, in that old pattern. Once I started to see it that way, that this choice, it might seem small. The choice might seem small in the moment, but once I start to ask myself, like, what is this actually committing myself to? Like, what am I committing to by making this choice? I was then able to recognize whether I wanted these commitments in my life or not. And so it helped me to make better choices, because I was like, okay, I don't want to be committed to this thing. When we're in the flow of our life, we can just make choices that we've been making, the same choices that we continue to make, because that's either all we know or what we're comfortable with in that moment. Now, when you see that choice as a commitment, you're really going to ask yourself, okay, is this something that I really want to be committed to? And if not, then maybe I shouldn't make that choice. The other thing that I wrote down was commitment helps us to committing to good things helps us boost our confidence, because when we commit to the right thing, the thing that's actually going to take us towards what we want, we build confidence within ourselves because we know that, okay, we can make good choices. Clearly, we can move in the direction that we want to go in. Clearly, we can influence our life in the right way, and so live a happy and healthy life if that's what we want, right? It helps us to walk towards whatever it is that we want because we're making choices committing us to that path that we want to go to. A commitment to a bad choice or a bad lifestyle, and bad in the sense that like it's hurting us and we no longer want it. That's what I mean by bad. A commitment or choices that commit you to that path can lower your confidence and your self-esteem because you almost start to be like put yourself down and be harsh and critical on yourself, like telling yourself like, oh, I can't do anything right, I can't make good decisions. You start to berate yourself or be rude to yourself, and that will never boost your confidence. You cannot boost your confidence and your self-esteem by tearing yourself down. That's not going to do anything. That's just going to tear you down. Like you're not going to build your confidence that way. So by making good commitments, we can also increase our confidence, which then helps us in manifestation as well. It's just amazing. When I got this download about commitment, I was like, what does commitment have to do with like what's happening right now? And I just kind of sat with it in meditation, and so many things came to me, and I was like, wow, commitment is actually linked to all these different things. And at the core of all these different things we manifest in our life, the problems that we have, the situations that continue to arise, the patterns and cycles that we see, is commitment. We are committing to these things through the choices we make. And when I saw it that way, I was just like, okay, like, all right, God, I see you. You're calling me out here, and I need to make better choices and commit myself to the path that I want. And it's something that I feel is really important during this time, but in general, it's important throughout our lives. The only reason I feel called to make this specifically right now is because, again, we're going through this year 9 ending cycles. This Aries season is all about bringing in new beginnings and ending cycles. So like, if there was a perfect time to do it, it would be now. But obviously, that shouldn't hold you back from doing it whenever, like reevaluating your commitments whenever. Another really huge thing that came up for me is like, why do we fear commitment? What are we actually afraid of when we fear commitment? Is it that we're afraid of commitment itself? Because what I realized is that actually we're always committing ourselves to something through the choices we make. So maybe it's not that we're afraid of commitment itself, but rather we're afraid of committing ourselves to something that's unknown, something that's foreign, even if it's good for us, even if it's going to bring us like the full fulfillment that we're looking for, the ultimate like happiness, like whatever that case may be. Even if it's going to bring us there, we might still be afraid of committing to that because it's unknown. It might be scary. It might feel foreign to us, and there may be a lot of fears that come up because of it. So in evaluating why we don't want to commit to something, we can kind of start to gain a understanding of like, is it that we don't want to commit to it because it's not right for us, or is it that we don't want to commit to it because we're afraid of the unknown and of leaving behind what we've built and the safety and security, or not the safety, but like, I suppose, yeah, like the safety we feel in this comfort zone. Like, is that the reason why we're afraid of committing to whatever it is that we want to commit to? And could that possibly be the reason why we continue to make the same choices, because we're afraid to make different choices that take us away from our comfort zone? I've really been exploring this topic of commitment quite heavily after the like download that I got, and the importance that like when I was sitting in meditation, it really dawned on me how important it was. And since then I've been really exploring this idea of commitment. One thing that really stuck out to me was, if you don't like this is the message that came to me. If you don't like where you are in life, then start changing the things that you're committing to. Start changing the way you see the choices you make. Start seeing them as a commitment. And yeah, it really did drastically change the way, the perspective I had on commitment and the way I started to view the choices that I was making. It's really helped me. Like, I just going back to the alcohol example, when I wasn't seeing that choice as a commitment to all these things that I didn't want in my life, it was much easier to continue drinking. But as soon as I started to see it as a commitment to this whole like past lifestyle and all this baggage that I no longer wanted to carry in my life, as soon as I started to see it, drinking alcohol as a commitment to that, I realized, okay, I don't want this. And it was so much easier to let it go. Now, I was never an alcoholic, but when it would come to parties and stuff and just hanging out in social settings, it was really hard for me to say no. Even though I knew like God was putting it in my spirit for so long, I need to stop drinking. For whatever reason, it was just no longer aligned with me. I needed to stop it. And it was just so difficult because the social settings that I was around and like all the things in my life, like drinking was just normal. And as soon as I started to see it as a commitment to those things, it became easy. Like overnight, I was able to be like, no, I don't want it. And even in relationships where it was hard for me to be like, no, I'm good. No, it's okay. I was able to be like, nah, I'm good. Like, and just move on. Like, no, and nobody, the thing is that because, this is like a whole side thing, but because the external reality is just a reflection of our internal, when I was in that place of not having confidence and not being able to commit to this choice of no longer drinking, everybody outside of me would pressure me like crazy. So if I said no, I would get immediate pressure. As soon as I made that commitment and that choice to commit to no longer drinking, it was like nobody cared. They didn't pressure me anymore. So they might say it and I'd be like, no, I'm not drinking. And they'd let it go. And I was like, what? Like all these years I've been struggling to get people to just get off, like to stop pressuring me. And it was just that easy because of the fact that these guys are just reflecting back to me something that's happening internally. I really hope that this in some way like helps you, because it really changed my perspective on things and the way I approached my life and the choices that I was making. And it was such a huge download that I got, and right now especially it's been such a big theme, I feel like. And so yeah, I really hope that this helps you and that you're able to evaluate what you are committed to. And a few questions that I got when I was channeling this message to share with you guys, so that like these are like questions you could journal about or just ask yourself. I wrote them down so I don't forget. The first one is, am I committed to my emotional fulfillment? Are my commitments moving me in the right direction? Are the choices that I am making committing me to the direction I want to move in, to the lifestyle I want, to the reality I want, to the things that I want to manifest, or not? And if they aren't, then how can I make choices that will commit me to that path? Through the commitments that I'm making, am I living in alignment with the vision that I see for my life? What do you need to commit to, or what do I need to commit to bring emotional fulfillment in my life? And the last question was, what are you looking to commit to that maybe you've been afraid of, that you've been putting off, that you have not yet commit to? What is it, and why haven't you made that commitment yet? Again, if it's fear, like what fear is coming up, and how can you go about resolving that fear through exploring the roots of it, or understanding and accepting that this fear exists, but still moving through by building up your courage. And the topic of fear, that's a whole nother like discussion, but just briefly, I believe that there are some fears that we have in our life that we can fully overcome and no longer and that fear will no longer be in our life. Then there are other fears that while we can overcome them, they may still linger in the background. And in that situation, I think it's more important to focus on courage. So even if you have that fear, by focusing on courage, you'll be able to navigate away and still do those things that you fear and not allow that fear to hold you back. That was like a side thing that just came to me right now. Anyways, getting back on to topic. Commitment, like, it's a really big thing coming up right now. Explore it, evaluate it. What are you committed to? Are your commitments helping you? Are they bringing you the life that you want? How is your life going right now? Are you satisfied? If you're not satisfied, then evaluate your commitments. If you are, still evaluate them and see which commitments are fulfilling your life. And if you are satisfied with life, that's a great thing. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you did, be sure to comment and let me know how you found this video, what you thought of, what about commitment has been coming up in your life. Do you resonate with this? Like, are you starting to see this pattern? So let me know if this was helpful and any comments you have. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll catch you in another video. Bye.